Good morning. It's Saturday, September 7th, and we're coming up on another anniversary of the infamous day in our history, which is simply known as 9/11. And a major union in this country held a 9/11 medal ceremony at the 9/11 Museum. And this was a transit workers union. And there were tears and then some smiles at the National September 11th Museum Monday night, as Local 100 for the first time held its annual medal ceremony at Ground Zero. More than 125 transit workers and family members came to this civic temple to see 8 members honored for their rescue and recovery work at Ground Zero. All 8 of these members became ill from their service, and 2 of them passed away. And many, many of us know that the heroic people that participated in the rescue of hundreds and probably thousands of people during the infamous attack on 9/11 became ill from all of the dust and everything else that was going around that day when these people were working so hard to save the lives of many others. But for some reason, the transit workers were overlooked in the many recognitions that took place of the heroes on that day. And one member, Jocelyn Lee, accepted a medal on behalf of her deceased husband, who was a work train operator. His name was Eddie Lee, and they lost him in 2016, and she was ecstatic about the fact that she got a call because he was going to be honored. She said, "In my heart, he's alive again." Now, Lee moved out of the state after a while, but now they've asked it to come back and to participate in this ceremony that's going to take place. "Are you ready," they said, "to accept this medal for his service?" And she said, "It's like an Olympic medal to me." Now, the union president and the Memorial Museum CEO announced an agreement in which the museum will educate visitors about the enormous role that the transit workers played at Ground Zero, particularly in the first 48 to 72 hours. Local 100 members evacuated scores of people from Lower Manhattan and searched for many, many people in the rubble and illuminated the attack site, operating heavy equipment to clear the debris, and carried out many, many more critical tasks. And the museum will play for visitors a documentary about the transit workers' efforts on the so-called pile. And it will include photos and artifacts and oral testimonies in its exhibits. And this is extremely important that this union get the recognition for their workers. And one of the workers who was at the site, fought back tears when he remembered his co-worker, Lee, and said he appreciated that transit workers are finally being included in the museum. It's nice to be recognized, he said. Thank God the union made it happen. So I am wondering, in all of the activities that took place on that infamous day, how many other organizations might not have been recognized 100%. But in any event, the mere fact that union workers of Local 100 are gaining this public awareness is a tribute to the fact that we haven't forgotten and that we're willing to recognize that we made some mistakes and fill the missing holes in the coverage of every organization that is entitled to some honor for their actions during 9/11. So the transit workers were unsung heroes in the rescue and recovery story. But now that's changing. And so these 8 members, these 8 medal recipients, and the many hundreds of other transit workers who played critical roles in the events of 9/11 are getting some recognition for their service and their sacrifice. And that will not be forgotten. And I am wondering how many others have not received their recognitions. And I am sure that there are many individuals who are not members of some group that participated in those events and eventually died too, that haven't been properly recognized. And I remember where I was that day. I was at the office, and quite often I was in the city on business, even though I didn't work in the city for a long time. And I got many phone calls to make sure that I hadn't been in the city at that particular moment. And I won't forget that. And I won't forget that day. And so I hope we all remember what went on in 9/11 and that it won't be forgotten. So I'll leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.